Hi, it's Will here again from Rekall Consulting, introducing you to the second video in our Rekall Recruitment Hacks, the series aimed at founders, leaders of businesses in startups and scale-ups. We aim to help you become better recruiters, giving you some time back into your life to be a founder. This one is about creating clear and concise job descriptions. A lot of people make mistakes here in just putting very generic or copy and pasted job descriptions, or even 3 or 4 line job descriptions, which I have seen, where people are just relying, I suppose, on the ego that their technology is the best in the world. But people don't really care about that anymore. People want to see a lot more from a job description than just 3 or 4 lines, and hope that the technology your company has created changes their life. So this is really important, that you don't just make a generic job description, because people have to emotionally buy into job descriptions. And it's hard when it's writing, unless you're reading a book, and it's hard to emotionally buy into it because it's not a story. So you almost have to turn your job description into a story. And this is where you can really bring to life what we learned in the first video around the problems that you're trying to solve. You can bring that to life in your job description. You don't have to create war and peace. It doesn't have to be a 1,000-word article here. What you do have to do is explain the problem to somebody that you're trying to solve. Because a lot of people in this industry, they're problem solvers. They like to try and solve a problem. So they like to visualize themselves and how they would solve your problem. That's the first step of getting somebody to buy in emotionally to the job that you're trying to fill. So what you can do at the top of the job description is create a short paragraph around what this actual problem is, and what you're trying to hire, and how that hire will solve this problem. Make it brief, make it to the point, so that person gets it. Actually, I understand the problem they're trying to solve. I've done something very similar previously. Let's have a look at the duties. Let's make sure that this person actually understands the duties that will inherently solve this problem. And this is, again, going back to the first hacks video, the actions that we created. If you remember, we had the problem, we had what good looks like, and then we created the actions to get us there. The actions are now what is going to become the duties of this job description. And again, this is what will help people buy into the job, because they will see fundamentally that you have a grasp of what you're trying to do here. A lot of times I've seen candidates get switched off by poor job descriptions, where it's become evident that the person making the hire doesn't really know what they're looking for, or they're putting too much into a job description where it's 3 or 4 people's jobs in one, and candidates walk away. Because candidates now are very much around work-life balance. Candidates want to know that they're not jumping into a pressure cooker where they're going to get crushed and their soul is going to be evaporated forever. They want to know that they're getting into an organization that actually respects the responsibilities of this job, and they understand exactly what it is and what it looks like and how to get to good, more importantly. So you don't want to be making bad hires here. You should now be very clear on what the problem is you're trying to solve if you've watched the first video. And this is effectively what you're going to need to bring to life here. So what you can actually do now is utilize ChatGPT. If you ask ChatGPT some very specific questions, you can ask, what kind of profile can I hire to solve this problem? And then you can highlight the problems. So you can put, I'm not getting enough leads via the website. We're not getting enough visits to our website. We're not getting enough paid signups. And what ChatGPT will then do is give you a list of its suggestions that solve that problem, which I think is very helpful, especially if you're not a marketer. For example, if you're looking for a marketing hire, you're not an engineer and you're looking for an engineering hire, it can kind of set your thought process up on a journey. What you can then do is you can ask it, okay, so what alternative job titles might this person have had? What you're then going to get is a further list of job titles and keywords. So when you're looking at people's resumes, you will actually see in their journey, their career journey, that they're all very relevant or they're irrelevant. You might then save yourself some time in interviewing people that are not quite right for the job because they're not solving the exact problem that you've identified. It's also very important that you highlight the company culture. A lot of people skim over this and just think, well, I don't need to highlight the company culture. You can go on our website, you can see this and see that. where candidates now, people looking for new jobs, they don't want to jump out of the frying pan and into the fire. They want to know that they're getting into an organization that takes culture seriously, that, they do create a harmonious environment for people to thrive, and that they're not just being squashed day in, day out. So what you can do here is you can really bring to life why your employees like working at your organization. You can create some testimonials from people that you've hired or people that have been in your organization for a period of time, why they like it. What's the actual attraction for them to stay working there, and what message would they give to people to come and join? What do you think for any newcomer is going to be the biggest, wow, this is amazing. You got to bring that to life. So what you can do there is you can really have some visual aids. You can create a short video. You can create a picture of the individual and like a quoted paragraph of something that they've said. There's a million ways you can skin the cat here, but ultimately it's really important that candidates buy into your culture. They're buying into the job, the problem that you're trying to solve, and the culture of the business. And why this is important is because one of the biggest frustrations that I see is candidate dropouts, where candidates are just either not turning up to interview, they're ghosting you, they're ghosting the recruiters, whatever it might be. But candidates are disappearing from your interview process, and it's typically because they're not emotionally bought in. If they're emotionally bought in, they're not going to just walk away. If they see the value, if they see something special in your organization in this role, they're not going to just leave the process without talking to us or talking to you. So you've got to really focus on the impact that this person can have to really bring home the message to that individual, because people like to think they're making a difference. That's why a lot of people get into startups. A lot of people get into startups to have a huge impact in a small, fast-growing organization. So bring that to life. If you're hiring a software engineer and it's a very crucial role for you that's solving a major problem, tell them that. Bring that to life. By joining us on our journey, you're going to help us solve this problem, which will inherently help this business become X or Y. Bring that to life for this individual. And before they've even spoke to you on the phone or spoke to your recruiter or anybody in an organization, they're going to have a very clear understanding of what they're getting into, what's expected of them, the problem that they're going to inherently come and help you solve, and what good looks like, which is the important thing here. And don't forget that people are about growth. So anybody with, real ambition, the kind of people that survive in startups, I'm not saying that people out of startups have no ambition. That's not what I'm saying. But people that come into startups, typically they want to grow. They want to see the company grow. They want growth around them. They want a growth mindset from their colleagues. How are you going to help them grow? What can you do for this individual that's going to see them further develop? Where can their career take them in joining your organization? How can you help them personally? What do you pledge to this individual if they are, to come and join your organization? Really bring that to life in a short video. You can use YouTube. You can make some short 5-minute videos to send to these people in the process. You've got to really do everything you can here to get people to buy in and to stay bought in throughout the whole interview process. If you've got a long interview process with loads of multiple stages and you're up against an organization who are doing 1 or 2 stage interviews, it's high risk. And these steps are how you mitigate that risk, by keeping that candidate engaged and keeping them really passionate about, actually, I want to follow this through with your company and see where we get, because I'm excited about it. And this is, again, where you can utilize social media. You can really bring to life through your LinkedIn, through your YouTube channel, through podcasts, if you do such a thing. The candidates will buy into that because they can hear it. They can see a story. They can feel a story. They will emotionally buy into you and people in your organization. That's really important that you take that seriously. And you've got to think about the benefits to these individuals, because a lot of companies now, they're very forthright with telling people what benefits they offer. And we've now come a long way since, bring the dog to work, or we've got a ping pong table and a beer fridge. People, they don't really care about that anymore. What are the features of your organization, the benefits for working at your organization that will make somebody want to work there, to think, actually, I've got a couple of kids at home. This is really going to give me the work-life balance that I'm looking for. Actually, I'm in this part of my life, and working at this company is going to really help me grow and develop. There's loads of different means and methods that you can bring this to life, but it's really important to candidates now that you look after them. They want to feel like they're getting into an organization where they're not just going to be burnt out and have the ounce of flesh stripped off them every single day. That's not what people are looking for. And I think finally, it's really important that you monitor and you adapt your hire, how you're making these hires. So if your job description, you put it out there and it's getting no traction, why? You've got to be asking yourself why. How many clicks are you getting? How many applicants are you getting? Are your applicants that you are getting on point? Do they match the job description that you've put out? If you're getting application after application after application, they're all wrong, is that a you problem where you're not actually probably bringing the right job description to life? Or is it just that people are just hitting and hoping? They're hoping that they might be right or might not, which happens. So you've really got to, monitor and track data here. There's a lot of available tools online that you can use, which give you the amount of clicks, the amount of eyeballs that have seen your job description, the amount of applicants, why they've applied. Get all that data together and refine and adapt. All of these things, if you can do these things well, you're halfway there to making a good hire. If you overlook this video and everything that's in there, and you just chuck a 3 or a 4 bullet point job description out there and hope that you're going to get the right profile hit your desk, you're going to be wasting a lot of your time. And the purpose of these videos is to give you time back so that you can be a business owner, not a recruiter. The 1 or the 2 hours that you might spend a day or a week, however many hours you spend to recruitment, we're supercharging that for you. If this is too much for you to take on and you think, actually, I do actually need a recruitment partner to help, get in touch with me. Just type Rekall in the comment section and I'll be in touch. But again, this is about empowering you to really be the best recruiter you can possibly be whilst running your company. We understand the challenges there. So if you want to go back to the start, replay this video. I do talk fast. You can always put it on, slow down speed. Maybe, 0.5 will help you understand what I'm saying. The Black Country accent doesn't help, I know. Again, if you need any help, please reach out, but keep engaging with these videos. If there's anything that you want me to cover topic-wise, please write it in the comments and I'm happy to go into detail. I say I've got 12, 13 years of experience of helping companies like Wiz, Humanitech, Portainer. There's a lot of companies that I've done all of these things for and had a very good return on investment from a time perspective. Typically, 14 days it takes me to get a hire done at any level, which is a good turnaround, really. And it's basically putting all these hacks into practice day by day. So do it, do it. So I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And if there's anything that you need, please feel free to reach out. Have a great day.